let's show the players out there how amazing our new... I mean, we have different ground textures now, depending on... We see a new tool here, and we have, depending on what kind of tool you're using, of course, you're going to get different ground types. So maybe we want to talk about that a little bit.
Exactly. So here we got a disc harrow. So you can see it has a lot of small discs that are rotating and are like cutting the ground and mixing it a little bit. So it's a bit different from a normal cultivator. A cultivator works a bit more in depth and really changes the look of the ground. And now let's just enter here our case Magnum. It's also a new tractor. We already showed that on some screenshots. It's the brand new Magnum series, also with the 400.
Oh, and you also see here something we had in FS19 with the Platinum add-on, I believe, are crawlers that are now fully three-dimensional as well.
Yeah, we introduced that with the class DLC. And now we got it on basically all of the vehicles. So if you have a close look here and you drive, you see that, it's three-dimensional and it's moving.
Really, really pretty. But before we start, you, of course, need to attach your disc harrow in the back.
Nearly forgot that. So let's head back to my disc harrow. So also a new disc harrow from Case. So it's like the first time we got from Case also some more tools. Normally we only had tractors and combines and that stuff, but now we got also some tools here. So let's unfold it.
There's also, every time I see these machines unfold, especially larger ones, I always have to think of integrators like yourself. So many different parts to animate to get these things just look beautifully. Sometimes it's really difficult, especially if the tools get really wide. So for American cultivators. And when they start unfolding in sections and sections.
So sometimes it's really tricking and taking a lot of time to implement it well. And to have it as realistic as possible. So now we unfolded it and then we can just...
And now let's see what all the fuss is about with these new and nice crop types.
So...
ground types, not crop types, of course.
The ground types. So if we cultivate now, we can see that there's also some straw still. So the stubbles of the field are still in the ground. So if you would drive now with a cultivator, it would look different. Because the cultivator is more bringing the straw under the ground.
So basically you don't really digs them underneath.
Exactly.
Almost.
So that's the first edition here.
So this is like depending on if you're using disc harrow or a cultivator or a plow, for example. It's always going to be whatever was on the field before. It's always going to look different, of course.
So
how the ground has been worked.
So the plow is also putting everything under the ground, so even more than a cultivator. But all this stuff has also gameplay effects. We improved the weed system there a bit. So if you drive with a disc harrow, you got more stubbles there, and this results after that the weeds grow faster. So you don't have that much time to get rid of the weeds. So it also has some kind of gameplay effects.
I mean, the main thinking behind the whole thing was that we want to reward the player for actually taking the time and working the field and like many different cycles and shifts. So if you take better care of your ground this way, that of course is going to reward you in some way or another within the gameplay loop.
Exactly. So if you, for example, you use the disc harrow, you can also drive faster. So, and it also has a financial benefit because the disc harrow is normally a bit cheaper than the cultivator, but you don't have that much time for the weed to control the weeds.
They always got a balance.
So
if you got the money,
you have to choose. And before in FS19 it was all the same. So that's an improvement there. So
all right.
And you can also see our new effects here, like similar to the back of the combine. You can also see the
new particles effect in the back.
The dirt that is spreading after the disc. So we improved that as well and added a whole new bunch of ground and soil effects. Okay, so let's jump to another nice vehicle.
Yeah, some might have already seen this one on a screenshot or two. This is our Xerion, our classic Xerion saddle track.
Yeah, one of my favorites. So.
Yes, I think this is your personal baby. You bringing it into the game from start to finish.
Yes, so yeah, it's in my opinion the best pre-order bonus we ever had. So it's not just a small tractor that is an addition. It's really a great addition to the game.
Also for those wondering, so if you pre-order the game digitally anywhere, you will be able to get the class saddle track pack for your game, or you can also buy the game retail, and it's going to be included if you get the disc version in the stores as well.
Exactly. So at the back of the Xerion, we can also see the tools from Kaweco. We never had them in the game before, so they're also new. So we got at the back the Slurry distributor and the tank on top. And as you have seen probably already on the website, we got also the semi-trailed tanker for that. So if you need to have some more slurry, you can use that. Okay, so but first, before we start to bring out the slurry, I want to have a quick look on the cow shed here.
This is also new.
Yeah, so it's from Rudolf Herrmann.
Yes, it's the first time actually in game that we ever have like a branded like animal husbandry.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really a special thing. And they produce really great things here. So
look at our cows.
Look at our cows. They're beautiful. And they're eating there. Also from this side, a pretty nice one. And you can also open here all the gates.
You can have a look inside, of course, as well. And there's also like the feeding area in the front.
Yeah, so we improved here also a bit. Close this door if you want.
I mean, they seem much more interactive than they were before compared to FS19. So you will have all these little elements around the husbandries. You have opening sheds and doors basically and stuff like this. And of course, you're already parked near the slurry trigger now.
Yeah. So that's an underground slurry tank here, and you fill it then from the top. And we got a bunch of little elements there on the placeables. Especially one nice thing is the lighting inside some sheds we have. So it looks
the new lighting system of the whole, like the interior design of it.
Exactly.
So if it's night, you'll see those lights coming on.
Yeah, and you can also toggle them manually, so you can just walk to the light switch and turn it on if you need it. So let's drive to the field.
Yeah, and I mean, part of this of the pre-order bonus, like the whole saddle track pack, maybe just to summarize again, it's going to be the saddle track itself, of course, and you have one of the Kaweco tanks already with the slurry distributor, and you mentioned it before, the other one was the other tank.
The semi-trail tanker.
Exactly.
Yeah. So more for the bigger farms. This one got 16 cubic meters.
Exactly.
And the bigger one got a bit more. I don't know the exact number. But
if you have a few more cows and a few bigger fields to take care of, maybe
and
that might be the way to go.
And it's also good to mount a bigger distributor.
But now, of course, new slurry distributor also means that the ground is going to change again once we get started. So we see Stefan already unfolding this. So if you want to fertilize your fields to increase your yield, you can do that.
Yeah. So you can see it here.
Maybe like the pre-texture before isn't the best to show on, but you do see it very slightly.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker. And, now if
wetter basically. Also with the slurry
border. Yeah. One nice thing also, the here this front arm.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what's that in the front?
So in real life, that is used to get the slurry into the tank. So normally you have one tractor with a slurry with a tanker. Yeah. That is bringing the slurry to the field, and with that one you get the slurry into this one and then distribute it on the field. And yeah, you can also unfold that and move it. I'll show you that as well. There you go. You can see it unfolding. And then you can manually control that.
All right.
Exactly.
And I mean, something we have one more thing we want to show you guys. When taking care of your field, when fertilizing them, when using like slurry distributors or also like fertilizer sprayers, for example, we've in the past we've had like fertilizer levels. Yeah. We had like in FS19 we had a 2, and we still have these in FS22, but now there's something new that we're bringing to the game for the first time ever.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice feature if you got a lot of slurry and want to get rid of it. And
you don't have much time.
Exactly. So normally you have to
because
fertilize.
You need to get the take your disc harrow out before the weeds come in.
Yeah. So normally you have 2 fertilizer states. So you need to bring out the fertilizer twice. Yeah. But if you got a lot of slurry, you can toggle this feature here. You see it on the top.
Yeah, there it is.
Activate double application rate. So if you activate that, it will bring out the doubled amount of slurry. And
it's going to count basically as 2 fertilized layers at once.
Yeah, you drive a bit slower because that it brings out the same the doubled amount. So you drive half of the speed.
Yeah.
But then you get the doubled spray state.
So with all these little geek features, as we like to call them, coming into play, I want to know from you, what's the main inspiration behind all of these? Is it something like when you're playing where you're saying, oh, this might be nice to have? Like, what's that spark that gives you the inspiration behind putting something like this into the game?
Yeah, sometimes it's based on user feedback. Yeah. But also a lot of times some of the colleagues come to me and say, hey, this would be great. And then we just implement it. So and sometimes also I think of, hey, this would be cool if we improve that a bit. Yeah. So sometimes it's just little things that improve it really well. So
especially then maybe since it's already there in real life, maybe there's a way to bring it into the game. I think for me personally, the whole new gear system, the gear shifting system, is a perfect example of why didn't we have it in before? I mean, it's of course it makes sense, you know, you have it in when driving a car as well. But it always has to be optional as well, of course, for those players that it's a nice to have, but and some might just dabble around with it for a couple of game time hours, but then maybe switch back. But it's always the nice balance between bringing in something new that makes it more realistic, of course, but also having that in as an optional feature, basically.
Yeah. And it also it has to be implemented well so that it works fine. So we also could have brought the gear shifting earlier, but if it does not work perfectly, it's also bad. Yeah. So
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Breaking the stuff, making sure it works, hopefully.
Correctly.
All right. Well, I think with that, hopefully we were able to give you a little bit, just a tiny glimpse of what's to come in FS22.